Well, we are on our way to the second loop of matches for each team as we are a third of the way through the season and already some very interesting storylines developing. Hello everyone, I am Metafiction, and as I say, we start out with possibly the most intriguing matchup of this batch, that being Sao Paulo and Gilaju Cosmico. Sao Paulo and Cosmico, both in the relegation zone as things stand. Cosmico having just been promoted, perhaps understandable they'd be there, but Sao Paulo being down here is a bit of a surprise, given their dominance over the last several seasons. They're 3 points from safety as it stands, currently on 4 points after 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. Certainly not exactly where they would have expected or certainly wanted to be at this point in the season. Still time to turn it around, but alarm bells will be ringing in Brazil. Of course, Hollywood FC will be in action a little bit. There you see Sao Paulo, having lost 3 in a row, certainly hitting the skids a little bit. Meanwhile, Cosmico would be happy just to get a point on the board. They've lost 4 of their 5 matches played. There you see, as I was about to say, Hollywood currently with a 4-point gap at the top of the table. Next one down is Catalunya, the other promoted team, doing very well this season. They, of course, will also be in action later, but right now we are underway here in Sao Paulo. And Cotswold taking the ball away from Terrell. Terrell takes the shot, and it's a bar down for Remy Terrell. A brilliant free kick goal that's just past Aguilera. You literally could not have placed that better if you tried. Aguilera, one of the best goalkeepers in the SSL. Even Aguilera could not get to it. Just a beautiful free kick. And it is 1-0 to Cosmico. It's an early blow for Sao Paulo as Mulder over the Cotswold. Cross goes in at the end line, but Movek holds on. Head. Tries to pass to Hashimoto. It ends up with Mulder, although Emerson did get a foot in. Mulder back to Rubio, who takes the shot. It's blocked, and Hashimoto's header over the bar. And that is not going to help Sao Paulo. Yoma Hashimoto is going to have to come off for injury here. Well, Hashimoto, one of the unsung heroes of this Sao Paulo team, this is a huge blow for them. Really important down that left side. And now they're going to have to make do with the super sub in that position, as Terrell already has a free kick goal, does get a corner off of this one. Mulder with the sliding challenge on Chevalier, but Cosmico's still with it. We're trying to get around Mulder, can't. Now here's the super sub with that throw-in, but Mizukana immediately intercepting. Chevalier losing out, though, as Head brings it back the other way. Mulder to the super sub. Puts the cross in. Oh, it was lurking. Does get there. A bicycle kick. Tipped behind by Mobek, but that would have been spectacular. As it is a corner kick. There's Mulder, takes the shot, and that's saved by Mobek with the diving stop. Well, you cannot fault the effort on the part of Sao Paulo. Pulling out all the stops to try and get that equalizer before the half, but right now it's Warwick. Mizukana who takes the shot, and Aguilera pushes it over the bar. Warwick stands over the corner. Headed out. De Groot sends it away. Now for Sao Paulo, the super sub. Peixoto. Head. Now Owe. Finding Mulder. Low cross, and Rubio was there. But couldn't quite get it past the keeper. Aguilera holding on to that one off the header. Now dropping the ball and sending it long. They settle with De Groot, who sends it back to Head. Evades the challenge from Monroe well. Here's Head into the box. And tried to finish from a very tight angle. It was a great run. Probably could have done with trying to find a teammate a little more central, but credit where it's due. Certainly. And so there it is at the half. Sao Paulo trailing at home 1-0 against Gelayu Cosmico. This is not going to help their situation in the slightest. Meanwhile, Cosmico, this could be the exact lifeline they need to kickstart a climb out of the basement of Division 1. They were so good in Division 2 last season, ran away with promotion, really. Now find themselves in serious trouble. But a win here would go a long way to that. Terrell on the corner kick. Headed away by Head. Warwick dribbling toward the end line. Monroe. At like 2%. Goes to the end line. Back to Emerson. Losing out though. Here's Mulder, but at like 2% again swoops in to take that away. Cotswold now for Sao Paulo. Aoi gets past the defenders, but perhaps a bit too soon. Kanicki takes the shot. It's deflected to Rigby Emerson, who puts it away. And Cosmico double their advantage. Kanicki. It deflected off of Head there. Kirkpatrick trying to take it away from Emerson, but Emerson got to it first. And Sao Paulo, who had been gaining some momentum, now find themselves down 2 rather than just 1. Kirkpatrick trying to get something going for Sao Paulo. Less than 30 to play. Here's Cotswold. Aoi in the center, right at Movek, and that's a corner. Cotswold sends it in. It's headed up and away. Peixoto. Work through to Nelson, who finds the super sub. Cross, just offline. Aoi lays it off to Cotswold, who makes the run. Trying to pass in, but the defender was there. Sao Paulo going to keep the pressure on here, but at like 2%. Nothing doing there for Sao Paulo, and that's a horrible mistake by Aguilera. I don't know what he was thinking there. My goodness, I've got to see that again. What was that? So Emerson sends the ball long. It looks like Peixoto is trying to... There's a miscommunication between Aguilera and Peixoto. Aguilera came out to get it. Peixoto was trying to bring it under control. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say about that. Well, now what does Sao Paulo do? They're down 3 now. Nelson takes the shot. It's going to be a corner kick, but man. That header right at Mobek, who pushes it behind again. Cotswold again. Corral heads it clear. I'm sorry, I don't mean to dwell on this. I can't get that out of my head. It's an absolutely phenomenal blunder. I don't know whether it was on Peixoto or on Aguilera, but Head sends that over, and Sao Paulo, through what could only be described as an absolute breakdown in communication, they put themselves in an even deeper hole now. Long ball here, trying to find Aoi, who heads it down for De Groot. We've got to get something together quickly now. Cotswold. Back to Nelson. Mulder, and the super sub takes the shot. The rebound put away by Julian Rubio. But Rubio might have been offside. But never mind, Rubio does put it away, and Sao Paulo have a lifeline. Nelson worked it well. The super sub taking the pass from Mulder to force the save out of Mobek, and Rubio was there to pounce. Still work to do, but encouraging signs for Sao Paulo. And that shot from Mizukana, Aguilera had it covered, pushed it behind for a corner. Warwick, Head with a good challenge. Rubio tripped up with super sub, and again, it seems like a miscommunication there as Cosmico gained possession back. Less than 15 to play. Terrell to Warwick. Warwick back to Kunicki, who takes the shot, and Aguilera has it covered. Less than 10 to play now. Movek to Okoro. Now out like 2%. And Mulder swooping in to take that one away. They need to get the ball up the pitch, Sao Paulo. Here's Cotswold. Warwick with the challenge, but Cotswold will retain. Cotswold again to Aoi, who's in behind the line and gets the goal. And maybe, just maybe, Sao Paulo can still pull themselves back level. Cotswold did well to lose their pursuers, and Aoi with a great run to fire it into the net. Malbec has done so well today, but couldn't stop that one. And here they are with a deep throw, although Okoro clearing it. Peixoto, Nelson at like 2%, able to send it back up the pitch. Sao Paulo still with it. Here's Head. Chevalier closing down, cross goes in, and Mobek claims it out of the air. Cosmico looked so comfortable for most of this match, but now might be under pressure here. Cotswold again for Sao Paulo. Cross in, and Aoi wins the corner. Cotswold, near post, and that's headed over. At like 2%. Now Emerson. Peixoto. Here's Aguilera. Now Kirkpatrick. Head trying to pass forward. Aoi does find it. Cotswold up the line for Aoi. The end line to Groot. Nerve de Groot, if this stands, has leveled it. VAR is checking. It will stand. It is 3-3 with less than 2 minutes of regular time remaining. An incredible move by Sao Paulo, who looked completely battered. They've suddenly given themselves a lifeline. There you see the replay showing de Groot might have been offside, actually. Well, if that's the case, then Cosmico will feel very hard done by. But now Sao Paulo looking to try and get a winner here. And Mulder nearly gets it at the far post. My goodness, where has this come from? Less than a minute of added time to play. Here's Cotswold. Near post, Kirkpatrick heads it over. That is going to be it. Sao Paulo down 3-0, including one of the most confusing goals I've seen in a long time. But then, in the last 20 minutes of the game, rallied to make it 3-3. Zach Mulder, your player of the match there. Just a great all-around performance there. But my goodness, that was an exciting match. One of the most exciting I've seen in quite some time. Cosmico did so well for most of that match, but unable to see it out. And Sao Paulo getting a point here. Well, that match could be very telling over the rest of this season as far as which team might survive. Cosmico still at the bottom of the table, but with some serious spirit. Sao Paulo did have enough to keep pace in the end, but it was a very slow start for them. We'll have to keep an eye on that as the season progresses. But meanwhile, we move on to our next match, which is Reykjavik United versus Hollywood FC. Reykjavik had a bit of a rough season last time around, This season's starting better for them. And while Hollywood, always one of the title favorites, at least over the last several seasons, have not lost a match yet and sit atop the table. 13 points from a possible 15. Will their trip to Lake Valoran keep the run going? Chambers to Tentacles. Dia able to take that away, finding Cormier. Now up the near sideline. Here's Kupanish. Gets to the end line. Cross goes in, and it's put away at short range by Tommy Moff. And a very quick 1-0 lead for Hollywood. Well, that was really well done by Kupanish to get the ball to the end line and put that cross in. Moff in exactly the right place to finish that off. Now Dia coming forward for Hollywood, lays off to Mograine. Gets around Metadiero to the end line. Another near cross, pinged out to Calderon. Skovgaard just wide. Martel takes the shot, but it's immediately blocked. Bit of a dangerous challenge by Mograine, and that's a free kick to Reykjavik. Now with a throw in deep in Hollywood's defensive half. Durbitov trying to cross, but nobody home. Skovgaard cleans up, gets around Moff, trying to shoot from a very tight angle. Wallerson palms it away. Bruskin to Metadiero. Now Skovgaard. Calderon taking it away now. Dobra to Dia. Dia in behind the defense. Takes the shot, and that's very wide. Tentacles and Neymarinho taking a very optimistic shot. Skovgaard into the center, and it looked like the Reykjavik player offside there. Calderon puts the cross in, and that header by Kupanish held by Chicken. Chicken holding on to that cross again. Fiery Chicken sending it long. Heads down for Durbitov. Now Cortista gets around Skovgaard, but the ball drifts into the back line. Hefeweizen recycling. Calderon up the wing. Dobra losing out to Shaheen, who just rushed in and took it. Now Chambers. Tentacles up the line to Neymarinho. It's past Mograine, puts the cross in. Far post, and Cortista winning the corner off that header as we near halftime. And so at the break, Hollywood with that early go-ahead goal, courtesy of Tommy Moff. And that is the difference so far. 1-0 your score, and Hollywood looking in fine form so far. Reykjavik did start to pick up steam as the half went on, but haven't really been at it in the same way. They're going to have to make some adjustments for this second half if they want to try and get back into this one, because right now Hollywood looking more likely to add to their lead. Now here's Mograine with the corner kick for Hollywood. Berbatov heads back. Kupinish took a shot from the edge of the area, but deflected behind for a corner. And that one right at Chicken. Kupinish chases down, keeps it in. Chicken again claiming it. Chambers, the tentacles. Neymarinho. Back to Derbatov. Skavgard gets a foot in. Mitadiero takes a shot, and it's off the post. Skavgard still with it. Dobra in pursuit. End line cross, and that's a corner. And Reykjavik seem to have finally shown up to the races. Tentacles. Lays off. Pruskin. Back to Pruskin. Now Skavgard again. Reykjavik trying to find another angle of attack. Here's Tentacles. Neymarinho in behind. And that's blocked behind for another corner. Headed away. Tentacles gets back to it. Martel, though, with the block on the cross. Shaheen. Skavgard. Good challenge from the other Skavgard. I think that was the other Skavgard. Dobra crosses, and Kupinish, Juozas Kupinish, makes it 2 for Hollywood. Well, Reykjavik had finally found some fire, but that might extinguish it. Dobra gets to the ball. Kupinish completely unmarked. Tentacles couldn't track back in time. And Hollywood make it 2-0. Martel now bringing it forward for Hollywood. Dobra in the center. Mitadiero, though, with the challenge. Passing back to Chicken. Some dangerous play here with Martel lurking there, but ultimately sent long. Cortista. Chambers. Mitadiero. Now out to Tentacles. And it goes back to Derbatov, takes the shot, and that's blocked immediately. Trying again, Reykjavik. Here's Neymarinho. Again getting around Mograine to the end line. Cross goes in, and that's headed near post. I believe that was Shaheen, but Walrason able to stop it. And that shot from Kupinic over the bar. Tentacles. Derbatov. Trying to find Quartista, but blocked. And Rashford the second ruled offside. Mograine. Under pressure from Derbatov, finds Skovgaard in the center. Dia carries it forward, takes the shot, and that's over the bar. Skovgaard. To the end line, cross in. Neymarinho, and that's held onto by Walrason. And that's Charlie Chambers, who might have just got one back for Reykjavik. VAR is checking it. But it won't stand. Well, that could have been a huge lifeline off the free kick here. And Chambers was well offside. Finding Quartista, who completely scuffs the finish but was offside anyway. Calderon now for Hollywood, sending in that free kick. Martel with it. To the edge of the area. Now Calderon again takes the shot, and that's pushed over. Fiery Chicken again called into action. Neymarinho in behind to Rashford, who misses. Well, that could have been the moment there. Skovgaard, Quartista, and another save by Walrason. It looks like time is going to run out on Reykjavik here. They had a handful of really good chances, but couldn't make any of them count. They might get one here, as here comes Tentacles, gets around Kupinic. Skovgaard on the volley, and that's held by Walrason. And with seconds to play, that might be it. Dobra loses that to Shaheen. Kruskin Commit to Diero. Now Tentacles. And that is going to do it. The referee blows for full time. And Hollywood FC with a 2-0 win. Reykjavik United did show signs of life as the match wore on, but ultimately just could not keep pace with Hollywood. Juozas Kupinic is your player of the match for Hollywood. A great showing by them. Reykjavik, again, having some chances, but unable to really make anything of them. As I say, Juozas Kupinic, your player of the match with a goal and an assist. Just an excellent all-around performance for Hollywood, including Duncan Walwerson earning his paycheck today by keeping that clean sheet. So there you have it, 2-0 to Hollywood, who remain at the top of the table. In fairness, would have remained top of the table regardless of today's results, but that gap continues to grow. And now we move on to our final match of the day, that being CF Catalunya hosting Shanghai Dragons. CF Catalunya, of course, in second position on the table, have been in pretty good form, winning 3 of their matches so far. Meanwhile, Shanghai, one of the surprise packages last season, have been trying to make another title challenge this season. Find themselves a little bit behind, as Catalunya, one of the promoted teams, again, most would have expected them to still be fighting to stay up in this division, but certainly some excellent early results here for the side from Barcelona. De Giron taking that touch, but it's a free kick here. Voda and Slothenberg pushes it away. Albinson able to scoop that up. Now De Giron. Trying to make some space from Gimathias. Crosses into the middle, but Takechi gets down to stop it. Hohenhan. Johnson trying to find Gimathias, but Detrella is there. Salazar. Del Vecchio trying to close down. The cross goes in. Headed right at goal by Bonito. And Takechi with no trouble. Voda. Sends the cross in, and Albinson gets that header just wrong. Scramble for the ball, finds Gimathias. Bunsen with the shot, and that is just over the bar. Del Vecchio losing out to Salazar there, sending it back to Slothenberg. Some quick vertical passing here by Catalunya. Now it's De Giron up the near wing. It's the end line, low cross, and Bonito from close range really should have scored that, but Takechi with a good save. Salazar to Bot. Now Jenkins trying to dribble into position. Desjardins' shot deflected behind. Quakoko. Bot to Jenkins. And that's another corner. And that's headed over. Nearing halftime, neither side really with a decisive chance yet. Catalonia looking likelier to score as that header goes in, and as soon as I say that, Shogo Bonito from close range. VAR will allow it, so it is Catalonia 1, Shanghai 0. Bonito did well to get to that rebound, and from a very tight angle, put it away. And Catalonia have had the better of this match and finally find themselves ahead on the scoreboard. Now they might have another Fry on the corner kick. Kawasaki heads down to Fuecoco on the half volley off the bar. What a shot that was. Just cannons off the framework of the goal. Didn't go in, but that's an emphatic way to end the first half. Catalonia 1, Shanghai 0, and Catalonia looking very much like a winning side right now. Shanghai haven't been able to keep up in the slightest. Boda finding Jim Mathias, takes the shot, and Slothenberg pushes behind. Albinson to Johnson, to the other Johnson, and that's wide. Albinson takes the shot, and that's over the bar. Fry. Fuecoco to Desjardins. Ahmed. Kawasaki. Now Bonito. Desjardins to Fry. Fry in behind the defense, takes a shot, and that's wide. Johnson. It's up in the air and over the bar. Lind just can't keep the header down. Salazar taking the ball off of De Soto. An opportunistic chance, and Fry wins the corner. Shanghai with a bit of a mistake there, a lapse in concentration, you might call it. As here's Desjardins with the corner. It's out to Fry, who finds Desjardins again. Cross goes in, up in the air. Johnson heads away. Now Fry will try again. Ahmed takes the shot, and again Takechi with the save. Desjardins. Fry. He loses out to Gimatheus. Johnson. Cross goes in. Gimatheus back to Johnson, takes the shot, and Slothenberg holds on. Bott. Now Fry. Voda. Now is there a break on here for Shanghai? Here's Hohenhan. Albinson. Drifts past Bott. Albinson making the run. Kawasaki back to track. And it falls to Gimatheus. Well, that is exactly the sort of break Shanghai needed. And it is 1-1 with less than 30 to play. Albinson deserves a lot of credit here, making that run past Bott, trying to get it around Kawasaki, and does. It deflects to Slothenberg, who has to stop it, and it's right into the path of Gimatheus. And we are level here in Barcelona. Ahmed takes a shot, and immediately Catalonia back ahead off the foot of Nikolai Ahmed. There's a long ball. Desjardins headed it forward to Fry, brings it down, finds Ahmed, making the run, and a good cut and a better finish. And Catalonia immediately reestablishing their lead. Delvecchio with the cross. Johnson. Bunsen. Forward to Albinson. Albinson's shot, and it's blocked. Bonito brings it down, shoots, and that's blocked behind. And that's another header over the bar. Fry, and that's headed behind. "15 minutes to go. Catalonia still with a 2-1 lead. Here's Salazar, drifting into the middle of the pitch. Ahmed on the back line, but Johnson with a clutch tackle to force the corner. But the referee's given a penalty. Well, VAR looking at it, and the penalty given, and this could be the decisive moment in this match. It's Joga Bonito to step up to the spot. And the save from Takechi to keep Shanghai in it. Well, that is a huge save for Shanghai. And now they still have a lifeline to work with here. But time very much against them. Catalonia still looking to see this out. 4 minutes of added time, and they're going to pass very quickly for Shanghai. Johnson with the corner kick headed away. Johnson sends it back in, but once again rebuffed. Lind. Bunsen back to Lind. Shanghai needing to get the ball up the pitch, but it's not going to be quick enough, and that is it. Catalonia 2-1 victors over Shanghai Dragons. It looked like it looked like it might get a little bit nervy there toward the end, but Catalonia able to hold on. Goals from Ahmed and Bonito proving the difference today. Catalonia doing very well to hang on to that win. Meanwhile, Shingo Takachi, your player of the match, the goalkeeper for Shanghai, did so well to save that penalty and keep Shanghai in it, just couldn't spur a comeback. And so Catalonia will walk away with the 3 points to keep in touch with Hollywood. Remember, we saw the 3-3 draw between Sao Paulo and Cosmico earlier. Hollywood 2-0 win over Reykjavik, and Catalonia 2-1 over Shanghai. Hollywood remain in first with a 4-point lead over Catalonia, who are starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Matchday 6 of the Major League Division 1. We really appreciate you joining us. We hope you'll continue to join us as this season wears on. Still plenty of soccer left to be played. Until next time, this has been Metafiction. Take care.